Hey, what is up? Gonna be going over another VOD review today. Since OP13 is out now, I'm gonna be transitioning over to playing just OP13, at least for video content. It's a little bad right now because I have a regionals this weekend in PRB format. Um, but I've been sort of burnt out of the game for a bit, at least in regards to PRB format, so I haven't really been practicing, but I think the upside is like me reviewing these videos has like helped me brush up my fundamentals, and I haven't been playing too much, but I randomly decided to show up for a pre-release event and I ended up uh, getting the winner card after going 4-0. So I think a lot of a lot of the VOD reviews have been helping me brush up my fundamentals at least. But from like the few games I've played in OP13, it seems like the game is just so different now. So I'll definitely be making a lot of mistakes, and also unfortunately, I don't think GP Luffy is gonna cut it in this meta. So I'll be switching over to either Emu or Ace, as you can see by like the title and everything. I haven't decided which deck I want to play or main, so I'll probably be switching back and forth between the two until I sort of decide. Um, but yeah, I'll be making a ton of mistakes. I'm pretty sure. I've already made a ton um, while playing like the handful of games I've already played so far. But yeah, just jumping into the card by card real quick. I don't think there's much to talk about. It seems like, at least for Emu, like 44 of the 50 or whatever the number is pretty uh, like solved, quote unquote. And there's just a couple options for tech spots. I'm not an expert on Emu by all means. I didn't touch the deck prior to OP13 format. So these are like my first couple games, like playing it at all. I just ripped off Guanrong's list, who's like the first world champion. So I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And anyways, and he's seen some like pretty good success using this list. So just copying it for now. So right now we're on for the Shirahoshis. This is a way to make your opponent trash a card, but also lets you like loop your graveyard back into your deck so you don't ever deck out. For the standard searcher, for 2Ks, I don't think you really use this on play at all, but maybe it comes up. I'm not sure, but it's mostly a 2K. For the Saturns, this is the searcher of the deck with the body. For Warkiri, this is a blocker that draws one on KO. For Nestro, the rusher that minuses 2 on attack. 4 of Mars, it lets you KO a base 5, I believe, if you trash one from hand. And this is sort of the reason why you can't really play GP anymore. 4 of the St. Peter, which boosts all your guys on field by 2k. 2 Stussy. So I think this is just to KO some of the big drops that can cause problems. I have heard that this card is sort of bait in the list, but we'll see. I may end up cutting it because out of the few games I've played so far, she hasn't come up a whole ton. But yeah, I think that just requires a little bit more testing. 4 of the 5 Elders, I think everyone knows what this card does by now. It just lets you shit out the other 5 from your grave, so the main card of the deck. 4 of the Event Searcher, 2 of this like KO event, or it's a 3k counter. I think I usually just use it as a 3k counter. 4 Rad Beams, or like the Emu event Rad Beams. And then 2 of the stages each. This one lets you play out your Celestial Dragons for 1 less, and then this one essentially lets you play it out for 3. Granted, you have like the total amount of Dawn on your field. But yeah, let's just jump into the game. So jumping into the game real quick, this is going to be against Ace, so one of the other top decks in the format. We did win dice roll and choose to go second, and I think that gives us a pretty good matchup spread into this deck. I think going first is a lot harder, so we want to take second whenever we can. And then, but my hand is looking a little garbage. Doesn't have any playables in it. And my opponent chooses to mulligan as well, and I think I will do the same. And then we mulligan into 2 Saturns, a Mars, and an Event Searcher. So this is like a pretty good hand. Almost too good to the point where I don't really know what to pitch off a leader ability turn 1. So we have 2 Event Searchers. We can do the first Event Search. Since these get trash, it's good because we see 2 of our other 5 Elders. Here, I think I don't mind taking the Shalria just to extend the search a bit more. And then here we can just, I think, just grab another Saturn, I think is our only option, and then we can leader effect the Shalria away. And then, yeah, pitch one of the 4 drops since we have another Event Searcher in hand. Which maybe we should have pitched the Event Searcher because next turn we're going to be playing the Saturn anyways. But we can also double search, so I guess it's not the end of the world. Let me put this to 2 times. And our opponent just swings 9, which is good for us. So yeah, start with the Saturn search. I don't remember if we saw a Nostro, but I think we just take that one if we don't have anything. If we don't have it in trash yet. And I think we can even leader effect it away and then just play the search, the other 1-cost searcher, and try and look for a 10-cost at this point, which we do find. And I should really be rearranging my stack whenever I play the Saturn. I think a big skill is probably remembering like your first search at least to know what's going to come up when you get to the end game. And I decided to sack 1 Mars. Okay, which I guess makes sense because realistically I think you're only going to be able to pop 1 thing on curve anyways. Opponent swings a 7 here. I think I want to stay healthy, so I just pitch 2 cards here. Which is fine, I think. Play the Mars, drop the 3k event, and then we can swing 6, 7 here. I might have forgotten to leader ability this turn. Did I? Yeah, I think I forgot to leader ability. Yeah, so already blundering a little bit here. But I'm not really sure what I would pitch in this situation. This probably has to be one of the 2Ks. But our trash is like filled pretty nicely so far, so. Let's place the Jozu. We just 2K out of here. Pretty easy turn for us. And here, I believe I end up going with the Saturn to search, but I think I should have played this, the Jupiter out first, because that allows me to swing 7-7, and then probably like a 6 or a 7 with leader. Yeah, instead I could have, and then either play a Saturn or the Warcury. Probably the Warcury, because I'm not really looking for anything in this spot other than maybe another 10 cost. And then that way we can at least start putting pressure into their life. So yeah, I think definitely should have played the Peter here instead. Just grab another Mars, which I think I should have probably grabbed Warcury if anything, because there's not going to be really time for me to play another Mars. Because we're going into 10 and we're going to be wanting to drop our 10 drops back to back anyways. Yeah. And now, like, none of these really get to swing. Although I guess they can swing on the next turn. Our opponent does not play the 8-drop event for whatever reason. And instead decides to play a blocker, swing 8. We block out of there. And then we swing, and he swings another 8 and leaves 1 up. Here, I end up countering out, but I think this is wrong. I think I should have just sacked the other blocker instead. Because this is only going to be able to rip 1 card from them, realistically. And then So I'm just trading 2 cards for 1 essentially, which is not really in my favor. And then if we played the Jupiter out last turn, like these could have swung for 7s instead without demanding me attaching a Dawn to it, or swung for 8s if I did attach a Dawn. So definitely like not playing that Jupiter earlier is coming back to bite me a little bit. So leader effect here, play the 10 drop. Yeah, probably just drop the Nistro here. And then we get rid of the Marco, which is fine, I think. And then we swing 7 into the Jozu, because it's easier to clear than hitting the leader now. And we really want to... I think at this point, when you can chain 10 drops and they only have like one thing, or like 1 or 2 things on board is when you start winning the game. Here, I think I can actually just jam 9 into it instead of leaving 1 up for the Rad Beam. Because like I'm at 3 health and I have 2 blockers. I can just sack both the blockers off. I don't need to hold up 1 for the Rad Beam next turn. So definitely misplay leaving this 1 Dawn up. Plays the event, takes down to 0 and plays the Whitebeard. So he's going to be a bit harder to hit over. So even more of an incentive to just sack both the blockers. But I end up taking 1 hit for some reason. Yeah, just definitely grab another 10 cost. I want to start chaining these every turn. So then I can block out here. I decided to minus the Whitebeard, which, I don't know, maybe I minus the Jozu instead and really just try to get this off the field. But luckily my opponent just gives it up after this 1-7 swing into it, which is definitely interesting. Which, if that's the case, maybe I just swing the raw 7 here first instead of swinging 8 at leader and minusing this down. I sack 1 for the leader ability before I play the 10 cost. Can probably just pitch the Mars here. Not going to be carrying anything. I get the draw off. Here, I can... Yeah, probably just grab the Rad Beam event. And then swing another 8. And then now, he can't just free block. He has to at least give a card anyways. And then... Again, I don't know what I'm leaving these 2 Dawn up for. I can just double sack the blockers. Ends up playing Tax Beard, which I'm hearing more and more that this card is bait and ace, and it doesn't really do anything. And he doesn't end up swinging the blocker, which makes sense, because if he turns this sideways, then I can just jam all in with leader. So here, I think... I end up playing the 10 cost, but I think this is wrong. I think I should start 8 with leader first, because he has to give me 2 cards of the Rad Beam at this point. And he can't free block this, because then I just eat the tax in it and I jam, what is that, 17 into him, and then there's like a very, that's like what, 8, or let's say one of these is a Rad Beam, so that's 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and then I just eat the tax for another one, and then I kill him. So he's not allowed to free block that one. So I definitely just should have started with an 8 here. I can just sack off one of, yeah, the guys, since he's not going to be doing anything. And I swing a 9. He gives the Rad Beam, so he did have it, which makes sense because our opponent was holding off 1 Dawn earlier, so there's no way you bluff for that long without not having anything, I would think. But effectively, I think I won the game here at this point. Like, they weren't able to build up a board before I whittled their hand size down, and they're at 0 life. Even if they play a Roger, I can easily defend out of that attack. So I think their best option... Yeah, because even if they play Roger and they only swing these 2, you'd have to counter out of like too many hits to Yeah, I don't think it ever gets there. You'd have to play like maybe the event into a Whitebeard, but even then it's a little dodgy, to be honest. Counter out of that hit, sack the blocker there. Which maybe I just eat the hit anyways, so I have an extra attacker, because I'm not dying anyways. And he can't turn the 10 beard sideways, otherwise I kill him. Place the Marco into the Uta. But I should realistically be starting 8s here, I think, in order to demand 2 cards. So I get 1 card from him there. Sex the Marco. Then I can swing 12, sex the Uta. And then, I mean, I've effectively closed out the game at this point. I just grab another Rad Beam, so I'm never dying. Swing 8 minus the new gate. She counters out of. And then swing 10. And then once this happens, like, the game's effectively over. And I think the opponent ends up scooping pretty soon. So yeah, this matchup, when going second, I haven't found to be too bad so far, but maybe once I start running into better ace players, it'll get more difficult. But yeah, just wanted to go over that today. Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks. See ya.